Persona 5 Royal is coming soon, and we're here to give you a breakdown of what this game is all about. Persona 5 Royal is an expanded re-release of the original game on the PlayStation 4 that adds in many new gameplay and story elements while still maintaining the structure and plot of the original. If you're looking for a great story-driven single-player RPG, or you're curious about the origins of that Joker guy from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Persona 5 Royal is a great choice to pick up, and here's why. Persona is a series of Japanese role-playing games by Atlus, known for their other games like Shin Megami Tensei, Etrian Odyssey, and Catherine. The Persona gameplay blends elements of social simulators and dungeon crawlers to create a uniquely diverse style. The stories follow groups of high school students in Japan that discover the ability to summon personas, metaphysical representations of themselves that they use to fight against monsters and demons. Each Persona game is a standalone story, so no need to play the other games in the series before jumping into Persona 5 Royal. It's actually a great place to start if you've never played a Persona game before. Persona 5 Royal follows the story of an unnamed protagonist, often referred to as Joker, who discovers he has the power to enter an alternate reality called the Metaverse. The Metaverse is a world that exists inside of people's minds and changes shape based on their inner thoughts. Within the Metaverse, Joker can summon personas to fight against shadows born from the corruption and darkness within people's minds. Joker meets a number of other students with similar abilities, and together they form a team called the Phantom Thieves, with the goal of defeating these shadows and reforming the most corrupted and evil parts of society. The story takes place over the course of a year. You play through every day of Joker's life, making decisions on how to spend your time, and working to slowly convince the world of the power of the Phantom Thieves.
We might be able to do more than just getting back at society.
You stole everything from Shiko. You destroyed her. Now it's your turn.
No matter what it takes, I will bring you to justice!
The gameplay of Persona 5 Royal is split up into two parts, social simulator and turn-based RPG. During the day, you live the life of a student, going to classes, spending time with friends, working a part-time job, and more. After school, you can choose to enter the Metaverse, at which point the game becomes a turn-based RPG, not too unlike Pokemon or Final Fantasy. The combat of Persona 5 Royal is a challenging yet rewarding blend that demands both strategy and creativity from the player. Much like Pokemon, the shadows you fight against have elemental weaknesses. Finding them and exposing them is key to the combat system. Hitting an enemy's weakness will cause it to get knocked down, granting you another turn or an opportunity to pass it off to another party member. The game places a heavy emphasis on planning your attacks ahead and stringing together combos of attacks between all of your party members to make quick work of the enemy. It's stylish, unique, and incredibly satisfying. When battling against shadows, you can also choose to negotiate with them and try to recruit them to your team. If you're successful, that shadow will become your persona, allowing you to use its abilities in battle. You can also fuse these personas together to create new and stronger ones. This mechanic functions a bit like catching Pokemon. There's tons of different personas to collect in the game that all draw inspiration from various myth, fairy tale, folklore, and religion. All of the choices you make during the social simulator parts of the game will have an effect on the RPG segments that take place in the Metaverse. Choosing to spend time with your party members after school will strengthen your relationships with them, granting them new abilities in combat. Working out at the gym will improve your character's stats. Choosing to work your part-time job will give you money to spend on new equipment and weapons. Although they differ greatly, the two halves of the gameplay in Persona 5 Royal are intricately intertwined, creating a smooth, singular gameplay loop that really makes you feel like you're living the double life of a student and Phantom Thief.
Yeah! On the ground! Nice going, Skull!
The unique gameplay style of the Persona series has inspired a number of other popular games like Fire Emblem Three Houses and Undertale. If you're a fan of either of those, you'll definitely want to take a look at Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal brings a considerable amount of new content into the game, much of which is in the battle system. There's a number of new mechanics present that really make the battles feel fresh, even after a full 150-hour playthrough of the original version of the game. There's also additional story elements, including a new party member and a number of new characters to meet and form relationships with in the social simulator segments. Other new features include the Thieves' Den, a customizable hideout where you can listen to music, view artwork, and play cards with your party members. There's also a lot of smaller, quality-of-life changes made to streamline the gameplay and make it more engaging, which is always appreciated in a game as long as this one. If you played the original version of Persona 5, you may be looking at this and wondering if there's enough new here to give it a second playthrough. That probably depends on how much of a Persona fan you are. Persona 5 Royal isn't a sequel by any means, so you won't be getting a ton of new content. If you've already played the original, this will probably feel more like an expanded New Game Plus, rather than an entirely new experience. There's a fresh coat of paint, but the core plot and gameplay remain mostly the same. If you played the original when it first came out, and you feel like you're ready to give it another go, this is a great way to experience Persona 5 for a second time. Just don't expect a completely new game. If you haven't played Persona 5 yet and want to pick it up, definitely go for Persona 5 Royal over the original version of the game. With all the added content and gameplay updates, this is the definitive way to experience it for the first time. Overall, Persona 5 is one of the finest and most critically acclaimed RPGs of all time. The story, gameplay, battle system, music, and visuals are some of the best in the business. This new version of the game expands on all of that in a way that only enhances the original experience. If you're the type of person who loves a long, story-focused, single-player game with strategic turn-based combat, Persona 5 Royal is an absolute must-play. Will you be picking up Persona 5 Royal? Let us know in the comments. And for more gaming news and coverage, keep it here on ESPN Esports.